What if you could say pretty much anything, but with just a tiny fraction of the words? I mean, it's a pretty wild idea, right? And it's actually the whole point behind a system designed to make English super simple, but also incredibly powerful.
I mean, think about it. The English language today, it's just this vast ocean of words. We're talking over 170,000 words currently in use, depending on who's counting. That is just a staggering number, right? A vocabulary that's been built up over centuries.
So that kind of begs the question, doesn't it? How on earth is anyone supposed to learn all of them? Seriously. Whether you're learning English from scratch or you've spoken it your whole life, that number can be, well, pretty overwhelming. Okay, but what if there was another way to look at this? A different approach? A system that wasn't designed for every single tiny little nuance, but instead for powerful, clear, direct communication. Well, that's exactly the idea behind something called the Basic English Solution. So say hello to Basic English. This was created way back in the 1930s by a linguist named C.K. Ogden. And get this, it's a super simplified version of English that works with a core list of just 850 words. Ogden's big idea here was to create a tool, for international communication that was easy for anyone to learn. He was hoping it could help cut down on misunderstandings between different cultures. And you gotta know, these 850 words were not just picked out of a hat. No way. They were super carefully selected to work like a toolkit. You get nouns for your things, adjectives for qualities, and then this small set of what they call operator words, your verbs and prepositions, that do all the heavy lifting. The idea is that each word is like this super versatile tool, one that you can combine with others to build and describe almost any idea you can think of.
Okay, and this is where we hit a really surprising little fact. In this super carefully chosen list of essential words, you'll find the word violent. Now hold on, at first that might sound a little weird, right? For a simplified language, why would you include such a strong, kind of negative word? This is where it gets really, really interesting. So let's do this. Let's use this one word, violent, as our case study. Because by really digging into why this specific word made the cut, we can start to understand the entire philosophy behind Basic English. It's all about the art of saying a lot with just a little.
All right, so let's start with the meaning we all know. The first definition is all about physical action. Someone using force to hurt people or break stuff. This covers everything from a simple fight all the way to describing someone's really aggressive behavior. It's a core word for describing, well, a fundamental part of human conflict. But wait, the word isn't just for people. Not at all. The second definition really opens it up to non-human forces. Just think about it. A violent storm, or a violent wind, or even a violent explosion. All of a sudden, that exact same word is describing the immense, uncontrollable power of nature. So what we're seeing here is that this one single word covers a massive amount of ground, from what people do to what nature does. And to really get a feel for its power, let's check out what it's similar to, and what it's the total opposite of.
This just illustrates its range perfectly. So on one side, you've got synonyms like aggressive, fierce, powerful, strong. But then look at the other side. Its direct opposites are words like peaceful, calm, mild, and quiet. I mean, any word that can bridge the gap all the way from strong to mild is doing a ton of work. That's what you call linguistic efficiency. And this brings us right back to that big question. Why is a word like this so essential for a list of only 850 words? Right? Why choose this one word instead of, say, 10 other more specific ones?
Well, it's because it's a power tool. It's that simple. If you're building a core vocabulary, you absolutely need words that can handle the big, fundamental parts of our world. Violent is essential because it can describe human conflict, and it can describe the awesome power of nature. It can even be used to express really intense emotion. See, its incredibly wide range means it can basically take the place of dozens of other words, making it a true cornerstone of this whole toolkit.
And that, right there, is the heart of Basic English. It was never about limitation. It's all about efficiency. It's really the art of picking these powerful, multi-purpose words so you can achieve the absolute maximum amount of communication with the minimum number of tools.
So, let's leave you with this to think about. If you had to build your own toolkit, just 850 words to describe your entire world, your feelings, everything you see around you, all your ideas, which words would you pick? What do you think is truly essential?